All right, we are live. Good evening. Good evening. Sorry, we're a little bit late. 8:04 p.m.
That's fine. How's everyone doing out there tonight?
Hope you all are well and enjoying this brisk weather here in Virginia Beach, where we are located.
All right, so we've got our TikTok folks over here. I guess we'll get to it now that we got everybody loading up. My name is John Gardner, and this is my wife and law partner, Radlin Mendoza, and we are the immigration law firm Gardner and Mendoza.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Yes, we come to you every Wednesday from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock, and we like to give you immigration law updates if there are any, other legal updates if we feel like they're super pressing. But most importantly, we like to answer your questions. We know that you have immigration questions and we have answers. However, I will warn you that what we do here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not legal advice. So
not legal advice,
bring your questions,
education and information.
Yeah, bring your hypotheticals and we will try to answer them. But again, it's not legal advice. We can't give legal advice unless you're a client, first of all. Second of all, even with these questions, you're giving us a snippet of the facts without really knowing all of the detailed facts. It's impossible for us to completely analyze a situation. Your questions, and we definitely all righty. But before we get to that
was our disclaimer, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was our disclaimer.
That's our big disclaimer of
That's the big disclaimer, not legal advice, but bring your questions and we'll answer them. Adlin will answer them. All right.
We will answer them. We will do our very best.
Yeah. Plus, I want to say hi to all of our TikTok folks over here. So I'm going to be monitoring the questions that are coming in here. We simulcast. We're on Facebook Live. We're also on TikTok, and we get a lot of TikTok questions. So if you are on TikTok, get your questions up there as well. I will give you some advice. If you get over to Facebook Live, it's a lot easier for us to see the questions, and it's more likely that we'll be able to get to them to answer.
Okay? Yes, and we can put up on the screen. Our Facebook is Gardner and Mendoza at Gardner Mendoza Law on Facebook. If you guys want to hop over, you can stay on TikTok as well. It's just
if you want to stay on TikTok, that's fine. It's just
up.
Yeah. Plus, every once in a while on TikTok, when we get questions, a long group of questions in the queue, it will then just reload. And when it reloads, all the old stuff disappears. It usually happens about twice during our 1 hour presentation. So we'll try to get to some of the early ones here quickly.
All right. Fantastic. Well, let's get started. Let's get rolling.
Yeah. Real quick before we
wait, I want to say hi to my mother-in-law.
Oh,
hi, Mom. How's it going?
That would be my mother. Hi, Mama. In case you missed the very beginning where I said that
our mom is asking, will Ray be making an appearance tonight? So our daughter, she's 11 and she is our timekeeper to keep us on time. And if she's supposed to be, now we will say when she was younger, she was much more excited about coming up here and telling us it's time. Now she kind of comes up and she's a preteen, what can we say? It's happening to her.
Yeah, she used to just jump right up and tell us it was time. The 1 hour is up, time to go. Now she kind of is checking out, how messy is my hair? What shirt am I wearing? Before she decides whether she wants to make an appearance. We'll see, Mama. You have to wait till 9 o'clock to find out.
All right. So Rosalie, thanks for saying hello. She says it's a rainy good afternoon, good evening to you both from the Bay Area. Yes.
Yeah, Bay Area. Love it, love it. We were there in the summer, last summer. It was fantastic. We had a really nice time. And thanks for joining us. Yeah, for sure. Before we get to some of these questions, I did want to just brag a little bit, if that's okay. Every year where we live, as Radlin told you, our office is in Virginia Beach, Virginia, on the East Coast of the United States. We have clients all over the country. We have clients all over the world. So you don't have to be here for us to help you out. But this is where we are physically located. And there is a magazine in our region called Coastal Virginia that comes out. It comes out every year. And
here, and we used to call this place Tidewater, but I guess that wasn't. Coastal Virginia has a nice little ring to it.
It's Coastal Virginia. But anyway, once a year they do their annual top lawyers of the year. And as has happened many years in the past, well, every year, it happened again this year in 2022 for immigration law. I was named one of the best lawyers for 2022.
Top lawyers.
Top lawyers.
We can't say best.
Oh, that's right. We can't say best. Radlin was named one of the top lawyers for 2022.
Woohoo!
And Sarah Lawler, who is our managing attorney, was also named one of the top immigration lawyers for 2022. So in Coastal Virginia Magazine. So congratulations.
We are bragging
Congratulations
tonight.
to you.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. And congratulations to Sarah.
And all the other attorneys who got
That's right.
chosen by their peers, by our peers, as the top lawyers in
That's
different
right.
categories.
There were a handful of other attorneys, but we were pretty excited that 3 of them came from our law firm.
So we should show them some of the lawyer photos and then show them ours. Yeah.
These are not immigration law firms, but most of the lawyers that are in here do ads that are sort of more along the lines of, the suits and the ties, and which is fine. We did, but as you can see down corner,
this is our team here. Oh, yeah.
We
went with the
we've gone to
Gardner
more,
Mendoza t-shirts,
more
and
of a casual look.
this
here.
was our corporate
was not
5K running photo.
There it is, right there. See,
And
much more casual look for us these days because
well, we were running, and
right.
that's a great team photo because
That's right. And we had our Gardner Mendoza shirts on, and it's all helping our clients. Yeah,
we're
very proud of it.
and thank you for all the peers, the other attorneys who voted for us.
Yeah, and thank you to Coastal Virginia for the service. It's really cool. They do it for other things too. They do it for doctors. They do it for restaurants. It's just a fun thing. I'm sure wherever you all live, everyone out there, your community probably has something similar.
Just like shut up and answer some questions.
Nah.
Nah.
As Ray would say.
Nah. All right. Let us jump in.
Okay, we can get to some questions now that we've
bragged about
bragged
ourselves.
about the fact that 3 of us were named top immigration
all
lawyers,
of our attorneys are top
Coastal
attorneys.
Virginia,
all of them.
2022. That's right.
Okay. So Jennifer says, hi, I was wondering how long the marriage visa would take to process. I entered when I was 3 years old and my fiance is a US citizen. So Jennifer, appears that Jennifer, you are in the United States and you entered fairly young. So one of the questions that we asked during consultation is whether you entered with a visa or a passport, whether you entered without inspection, have you ever applied for any other immigration benefits in the past, or have your parents ever applied? So there's a lot going on here. So if you entered with a visa, then and if you get married to your US citizen, and you live in the Hampton Roads area, then the process is taking about 22 months to from filing to getting the green card. I just looked it up in I think it was Chicago, and it was 17 months there. So in some places it's 20. So it depends on where you're living, and as far as the time frame is concerned. However, you may not be eligible for adjustment of status, and we would need to know how you entered the United States. So I hopefully that answers your question. If you entered with inspection to apply for adjustment of status, it takes a couple of years before you can get the green card. So number one, reach out to us and we can help you with that and help you figure out, whether we can apply for adjustment of status for you. And if we can't, so thanks for the question. It's a great question. Yeah. I only say this because it used to be it's funny because I've been an immigration lawyer since 1998. We opened our law firm in 2000. And when I first started, cases were taking about 18 to 24 months. But there are many years in between where we would do these types of cases that are now taking 20 to 24 months, like they were when I first started practicing. But the cases would be finished within 6 months. It was crazy. We're not there. We've moved. We keep moving farther and farther away from 6 months. But I like to kind of see it as a point of reference because it started out really long. It got short. It's long now. And I think a major change has to happen with USCIS in order to really get these processing times a little bit shortened. But anyhow, let us know, Jennifer, our contact information. I'll put it on the banner here. If you want to reach out to us, it's 757-464-9224. You can call or text, or you can shoot us an email at info@gmlaw.net. You're on Facebook. You can also shoot us a message through Messenger. And that also goes for everyone over on TikTok. If that's our contact information on how you can reach us.
Yeah, and if you want to schedule a consultation, we do charge $275 for a consultation. I absolutely promise you that it's worth every penny. Your immigration case is extremely important.
Money back guarantee.
You all know that. And we see a lot of cases that have been filed incorrectly, not just self-filers, but even other attorneys who aren't really immigration lawyers, but are sort of dabbling in immigration law here and there. I say this every week. Look, you are worth $275 to make sure that you get the most important thing that you're doing in your life right. Get it started right. Make sure you're doing the right things. And if you want to hire us to do the whole thing for you, even better. But you at least owe it to yourself to make sure that you're starting off on the right foot, that you're going down the right road, because these things take time. And so mistakes are not costly in terms of, maybe being fatal to your case. But even if you have a case that's viable, a mistake could also just set you back months, years, decades, literally.
That's
okay.
True. Yeah.
So
decades. Yeah. That has,
I mean, we've seen it. We have seen it.
Yeah. I saw it.
It's
I saw it
it's
recently. It's terrible.
Yeah. So just decide today you're worth it, and that you're going to invest in yourself and make sure you get this right. Okay.
And Jennifer, we're not just talking to you. We're talking to everybody.
I'm talking to everybody.
we don't want to single you out. You just asked the question.
Yeah, that's right.
One thing and a good example of this is, what you don't know, right? Like, we don't know really. I mean, we can file our taxes through TurboTax, but maybe there are some tax advantages and disadvantages we're not aware of, and that we're not doing, and so we're losing money if we self-file. The other couple of weeks ago, John and I and our law firm, we sponsored a dinner for some members of the Philippine embassy, and the general consul was there, and they were here in Virginia Beach assisting Filipinos in getting their citizenship, their passports renewed, and getting dual citizenship. And so Dominique, who's one of our attorneys, he's Filipino born and naturalized U.S. citizen, and he did not know that he could get his citizenship, his Filipino citizenship back, not by applying for dual citizenship, but just by filling out some paperwork, because he already is a Filipino citizen and he could get a U.S. passport. I'm sorry, a Philippine passport. And so it was one of those things. I said, "So Dom, did you know that you could do this?" And he's like, "No, I didn't." And he did it.
Yeah, he did it.
He went up to the Philippine embassy after Christmas break, and he swore in and got his Philippine citizenship back. So what you don't know, you don't know. That was a great example.
And it was a great dinner. We were over at Judy's here in Virginia Beach.
It was a great dinner.
Yeah, Judy's, check it out. Great place.
All right, let's grab a TikTok question.
Oh, Leah 028 saying hello from San Diego.
Hello from San Diego.
Yeah, we love when the West Coasters check in, like from the Bay Area. Okay.
We have a lot of clients on the West Coast as well.
Let's see here. Cece wants to know, what states do you practice in? As I said earlier, in case you missed it, we practice everywhere. So immigration law is federal law. So any attorney, no matter what state you're barred in, if you're practicing immigration law, then you can represent people in any state. And also, since we're dealing with immigration law, again, many of our clients are overseas. They're not even in the United States. So we have clients all over the United States. We have clients all over the world, literally, because we do everything virtually, and it works perfectly. We love it. All right.
So if you are on the West Coast or wherever you are, whoever asked the question, call us if you need some help.
Yeah.
Our number again is 757-464-9224. We would love to consult with you and help you with your immigration case.
Yeah, and the sooner you start, the sooner you end. We have someone here on TikTok says, I'm going to start really soon. I've been here for 26 years. It's about time. Yeah.
Time flies, guys. It is crazy how time flies. You know, when I tell somebody that their case is going to take 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever years, I always use the example of when we first started it, before John and I, we got married. Well, we graduated from law school, got married, opened our law firm. And as 26, 27-year-olds, I would never think, I don't know. I mean, 20, 25 years has passed, 24 years have passed. And it just kind of went by like that. So when you are just thinking to yourself, wow, that's such a long time. I'm not going to file that for my sibling, or I'm not going to file that for my married son or daughter. The time just keeps going. That's the beautiful thing about it. So go ahead and file. Doesn't hurt anything. All right.
We have a question here. How long does it take for a permanent resident to file for an unmarried child over 21 and in the U.S.?
In the the child is in the United States?
That's what it sounds like. Permanent resident to file for an unmarried child over 21 in the U.S., I guess so, yeah.
Unmarried child in the United States over 21. Do we have a country?
We do not have a country. I was wondering that as well.
I'll pull up the January visa bulletin. I printed it out, but I can't. It's underneath some papers.
Yeah.
All right. So final action dates for family sponsored preference cases and the F2B here, the unmarried son or daughter of a lawful permanent resident. It's taking about 7.5 years right now if you are not from Mexico or the Philippines. But if you're from any other country, it is taking about 7.5 years. If you are from Mexico or the Philippines, wow. All right, we'll start with the Philippines. If you are from the Philippines, then it's taking about 12 years. And if you are from Mexico, it's taking about, is my math right here? 22 years.
Yeah, 22 years.
So about that filing,
Mm-hmm.
file it now. Hopefully, well, I don't want to say hopefully you're not from Mexico, because if you're from Mexico, then I don't want you to feel bad. But
Yeah,
those are that is basically, guys, how long it takes for a visa to become available after you file your I-130 petition, your petition
Right.
for your relative. So you've got to file that petition so you can get in line, and then that is it tolling, that time starts tolling, right? It's you're in line, and you're just every year or every 3 or 4 years you're moving up in the line. But if you never get in line, guess what? You're never going to get your ice cream.
Yeah, the time is accruing. I was processing that. Tolling would be to stop it.
That's right. Sorry. What am I thinking?
Yeah,
Tolling. That's such a
flipped.
Yeah, I shouldn't get a word like that flipped. I mean, do you know how many times tolling was used in all the law books? It's been a long time though.
Yeah, no. I was processing it too, and I was like, you know how computers have that little wheel that's like turning? That was my brain. Okay.
All right.
It's like,
where did we have the last question from?
The last question came from
Okay.
TikTok.
See,
That was a TikTok question.
All right, fantastic. Okay. Rose Yano says, just want to ask, how soon can you renew a green card? Green card expires on December 2023. So Rose, it depends on whether it is a 2 or a 10-year card. A 2 or a 10-year card. So if you have a 2-year conditional resident card, then you can renew it in that 90-day window prior to your 2-year card's expiration date. So if it expires in December and it was a 2-year card, or it is a 2-year card, then it's in that 90-day window before December of 2023. So if it's a 10-year card, you have up to 6 months. You can renew it within the 6-month period. of it expiring. Hopefully that helps. Let me know. All right.
All right. This is an interesting question. You want to take this one?
Sure.
While working for a U.S. company as a consultant, can I come into the U.S. on an ESTA during that time?
So, you should be able to, so long as you're not coming in to, the purpose of your trip is clear, and you are staying within the terms of the ESTA requirements. Basically, you can't be coming into work, of course, but they may ask, right? They may ask you at the port of entry why you're coming in, and maybe you're coming in to just check into work or go to a work party or go to a work meeting. But it's not actually work, right? Working in the United States. You just have to be careful with that and with your answers. And of course you have to be truthful, and then they can make that decision, allow you to come in on the ESTA or not. But you should be okay doing that. All right.
All right. Great question. Great answer.
Love Margot. Oh, look at that pretty wedding. Okay. Love Margot. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hello, it's been a month since our papers at the NVC. That's kind of what I groaned about because I kind of pre-read the question. It's been a month since our papers have been at the NVC. How long does it take to see in transit? So 1 month at the NVC is like no time at all, unfortunately. Depending on where you're from. I mean, you could be at the NVC for a while because for a couple of reasons. One, it does take NVC after you upload all of your documents about 12 to 14 weeks and even longer now to say, okay, we have everything that we need. You are documentarily qualified, DQ'd. And then after that happens, depending on where you're going to interview, you may be sitting there for a while longer because of backlogs at the U.S. embassies for interviews. So hang on, keep up the lines of communication. A month is not a really long time, and you're going to be there for a little bit longer. And but it's good to kind of manage expectations. And again, one of the things that I think that sometimes you don't really know how long it's going to take, and maybe if you've done some research or you've talked to people like, oh yeah, it's going to be just a few weeks or just a couple more months. It's long right now, guys, because of the visa backlog. So just know that and prepare for that, and keep the lines of communications open with you and your spouse. But anyhow, good luck. All right.
All right. So this next question on TikTok we might need some more information. The question is, if you have a tax ID number, can you apply for a green card? And then they said, if you have a tax ID number, can you apply for work in the US? So those are slightly different questions and pretty vague. So I don't know if you want to take a stab with what you have there.
The question, if you have a ITIN, individual tax ID number, which is not, as we all know, or maybe we don't all know, is not a social security number. It does not give you authorization by itself to work in the United States. And you can't just with that apply to work in the United States just with an ITIN. If you have, someone who is willing to petition for you and you're eligible to do a change of status, or you're eligible to adjust your status through that, probably not adjust your status, but you would have to do it in that manner. But if you're asking this question and you only have a tax ID, that means for whatever reason, you cannot get a social security number. So I'm just going to make assumptions that, you maybe you're not authorized to work in the United States, or maybe you are undocumented. So I'm just, again, I'm making a lot of assumptions here about one sentence, which is why we don't give legal advice
That's
on
right.
our live stream, because there are too many different factors here. But just the I-10 by itself will not allow you to apply for a work permit through immigration. There has to be some other underlying application for that.
Yeah, and the assumption is educated assumption just based on years of what we've seen.
Right.
And so that's why we're reading between the lines a little bit here. All right.
All right. Fantastic.
All
Let's
right,
see
we've
here.
got some-
Somebody is cooking something
Yeah,
downstairs
I smell
in our
that as
home.
well.
Is it burning?
You know, we're not going to get into the fees again in detail, but we did it last week. If you want to go back to our Facebook Live last week, we went through it in a lot more detail, but I just did want to throw it out as a reminder that if you're on the fence about any of this stuff and you need any more incentive, now is the time, because the fees are all going up for family-based immigration as well as business based immigration across the board, almost everything. And some of them are going up a lot, pretty dramatic increases. So if you're this close to a decision about going forward, you may want to speed it up and do it.
Yeah, because it does, we found sometimes our clients have a hard time getting some of the documents that we need.
Yes.
And you got to get started if that's if it's a possibility for you.
Yeah, I would say that is probably the number one slowdown in terms of getting cases out the door is tracking down documents. And some of them does take time. You come across a document, you have to order it from somewhere, and it takes a while. So yeah, the sooner you get on it, get on it.
Yes.
That's just my 2 cents, because the fees are going up.
Yes, they are. Why not take advantage? All right, I'm going to grab a question here from Alex. Alex says, what forms need to be submitted for a U.S. citizen to claim his child born to a foreign national mother outside the U.S. as a U.S. citizen? Okay, so we're talking about consular report of birth abroad. There are many documents that are needed. Some of the things that are needed are proof that you've been in the United States, the U.S. citizen has been in the United States. Of course, the child's birth certificate, proof of U.S. citizenship, depending on where you're getting the CRBA, you need passport photos, the actual application. So there are many requirements, and we can help with this process. We help a lot of people do the CRBA and apply for the U.S. passport abroad. So great question, because we do a lot of them. Right? What do we have?
All right, we've got question here. How long does the naturalization process take?
So the naturalization process.
And before you get into that, can I add, because it's a frequently asked question, and we may get it again later, so we can address it right now.
Yeah.
Help everyone understand, when can you apply for naturalization? And then how long does it take? If you don't mind.
Wow, this is really making me
because I know it's coming. Somebody tonight, somewhere in this line of TikTok questions, somebody's going to ask when they're eligible to naturalize.
When you're eligible to naturalize. Okay. So you are eligible to apply for U.S. citizenship. There are 2 times, right? So if you have been a lawful permanent resident for 5 years and you're not applying based on marriage to a U.S. citizen and living to a U.S. citizen for 3 years, it's 5. So if say you are a parent and your daughter petitioned for you, then you have to wait 5 years you have to be a lawful permanent resident for 5 years before you can apply for U.S. citizenship. If you got your green card through work, then you have to wait 5 years. All the other family-based categories, it's going to be 5 years unless it is marriage to a U.S. citizen and you've been married to that U.S. citizen for 3 years, and you've been living with that U.S. citizen for 3 years, and that U.S. citizen has been a U.S. citizen for at least 3 years, then you have your lawful permanent resident status for 3 years, and you can apply early, basically. And those timeframes that I said, the 5 and the 3 years, go ahead and subtract 90 days because you can apply 90 days early.
Okay.
What was that other question? Oh, how long it's taking?
Yeah. So then to get to the actual
Yeah.
question, so that's the first part.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of you that were getting ready to ask that question somewhere down the line, already been answered.
Already been answered in
answered.
minute
That's right.
8.34 of the live stream.
So
If you want to go back and look at it.
The next question is how long does the process? So once you decide, okay, I'm eligible
Yeah.
and I'm ready to go.
Do we know where this person is from? No, we don't. So I'm gonna go over how you can do that. It's gonna just take 1 minute. All right, here's how you check how long it's going to take for the N400 and any process, actually. The I-130 petition, the N600, the I-751, any application form, you can check USCIS case processing time. So what you do, you guys have a little pen ready, little pen or pencil handy. So you Google USCIS processing times, and usually the first thing that's going to come up is going to be the USCIS .gov website processing times. That's automatically going to be the first thing that comes up, or maybe it's just the first thing that comes up on mine because I do it all the time. So Google USCIS case processing times, and what you'll do is then pick the form number. There's going to be like a little rectangular box, and you click the little arrow and you pick the form number, and you'll pick N400, and then you'll pick the your field office. And so if you are from Los Angeles, California, you'll click down and you'll find the field office, Los Angeles, California, and then you'll click on the next button, and it will spit out the time that it will take to process that N400. So I will do it really quickly. I'll show you how fast it is. So USCIS processing times, go to the form and tell you guys how long it's going to take for someone who lives in Los Angeles, California. N400 form category, application for naturalization, Los Angeles, California, and click the blue button that says get processing times. I could screen. So 18 months. So from the time of filing to the time of decision, and it's 18 months.
All right.
Right. So that's how we just did it in real time. Does anyone want to know where some other?
Got that, Sahar? I don't know if you're in LA, but if you happen to be in LA,
maybe if they're from Montgomery, Alabama. Let's see. That's 15 and a half months.
And if you couldn't write fast enough, you want to rewatch this. This started at about the 30th minute in and is now about the 34th minute in. So
Portland, Maine.
Because you may not want to watch all the chatter at the beginning.
I think they do.
Where we're talking
15
about
months.
Coastal Virginia Magazine. You probably don't want to hear us gabbing at the beginning about getting the top lawyers awards.
Okay. All right. So.
Okay.
You got to, my point is you have to look at where your application is going to end up. And that's where the city where you live in and the closest field office to that. All right.
And if you decide that you want some help with that, Sahar, please reach out to us. Give us a call.
Yes. Or message us. Gosh, okay? we did an N400 out of Dallas in record time. It was weird. And in Dallas, Texas. See, I'm just checking it because it's so fast and easy and fun to scroll. 18 months, and ours got done in in a third of that time. It's 6 months. It was done. Got lucky.
Okay.
All right.
You want to grab a question over there on Facebook?
Let's see here. Jasmine, hello. Great to see you again.
Yeah.
Quick question. if the interview at the embassy in March or April and I'm the sponsor, can I fill 2022 and provide it? Because I didn't make money in 2021. Would the consular accept the 2022 before April 18th, or will he ask for a 2021 tax return? So if you are the petitioner, and you are, even if you didn't make money in 2021, you still have to provide the tax return, and maybe you have a joint sponsor, right? Now, if you've got your interview in March or April, but you filed your tax return, you're going to file it at the end of this month. Yes, you can provide your 2022 tax return. That'll be fine. All right. Hopefully that answers your question. I don't know why I'm so close to the screen. I'm about to type mode, but I'm not typing anything.
That's right.
All right. Next question.
All right, we have a question up here about how do you go about reapplying for a travel document?
Advanced parole. You just complete the form, the I-131, and submit it.
All right. And there you have it.
Yep. Expired travel document, because cases are taking a really long time right now. So documents are expiring. All right, let's see here.
Have any over there?
Genesis is asking, do you have an update regarding the interview scheduling process in Manila? I mean, the update is pretty much status quo from the last time, which is we still have a pretty awful backlog that you can tell. Try to do some calculations there, and I couldn't figure out how they were gonna process this. Wait a minute, what happened to the December one? Yeah, I mean, they're not processing them fast enough, and basically there's still over 400,000 applications waiting, people waiting for an interview. Not in Manila only, but in all of the U.S. embassies across the world. So there's just a big backlog. But I don't have any. Oh yeah, they're gonna. It's just impossible to determine because they don't break it out by the different embassies. But it's a major backlog, and so while they are processing, 30, 40,000 cases per month, as you know, more are coming in, and it's a big issue. So hang in there, try to be patient, keep communicating. It's the key, and just know that this process is really long. All right. Next question.
All right, want me to grab one over here?
Yeah, I want to do one in one. That's a good way to do it.
Okay, so Gropkin 3, this is kind of an interesting question. Wants to know if he can renew his H-1B visa while in Canada. It's the first time he'll be renewing it, and Canada is not his country of origin, so he is not Canadian. He's in Canada right now, has an H-1B, wants to know if he can renew it while he's there.
I would check with your employment attorney. I definitely don't want to. I mean, I'm just not up on third country interviews, and I would check with your immigration attorney about that, because it used to be that if we would send our clients over to Canada because they had family members there, they were going on a vacation, they were going to go see people, and there was a purpose of the trip. But with COVID and the interview backlogs, I just don't know. We haven't sent one to Canada in a really long time, so I would definitely check with your attorney.
Right, check with them, and we can also, if we remember, we'll ask Miss Attorney Lawler in our office, a business immigration attorney, among other things.
Yeah, and I just know that we haven't, for our business immigration clients, it's just not in our. We don't send them to Canada. They don't do third country processing typically.
Right.
Frequently enough for me to know what the current processing times are, or whether they're even doing that. Not
Yes.
processing times, but interview times. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to read this one here, or yeah. This is Rosalie. A brother filed a petition. This is like a
Yeah, this is a long one. If she puts this up on the screen, it's going to cover it completely.
Yeah, it's going to cover it completely. I know you guys don't want that.
I was thinking it would be a good opportunity for,
Beverages.
taking a sip of water, make sure I'm.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
A brother filed a petition 20 years ago for his brother who is living in the United States for 30 years now. Oh, okay. Yeah. So the brother received a letter from the immigration informing him that he has an interview, but he needs to go back to the Philippines. Which one is much better to do? A petition by his brother with an interview date, but it's in the Philippines, or a petition by his son, born and raised here, who is now 26 years old? Which one is faster? What do you think? What a great question. Hey, did everybody follow that? This is a really good question. So we have a scenario where brother is a sibling to sibling petition, filed this petition and filed it 20 years ago. And lo and behold, as we were just saying, 20 years has now arrived and the priority date is current. And he said, hey, come to the Philippines and come to your immigrant visa appointment. It's ready. But this brother has been living in the United States for 30 years. I'm going to go ahead and presume they have not, they have overstayed. I'm going to presume that they have overstayed some other visa. Let's just assume that they entered in the United States 30 years ago on a tourist visa and overstayed. So the question is, which one is much better to do? A petition by his brother, or the question is, should he go to the Philippines and just go to this immigrant visa interview? I mean, gosh, they sent a letter. It's ready to go. We've got an interview date. It's on the table. Let's go. Or, but yeah, there's a big but. Or should his son petition for him? Son is 21 years old. And
26.
26. And we all know that children who are at least 21 years old petition for their parents. Which one's better? Which one's faster? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So if my assumptions are correct that he overstayed here in the United States, because the way the question is written, he goes back to the Philippines to go to his interview, then it's a trap. He is most likely subject to the 10-year bar. So what that would look like is like, go to the interview and they say, wow, everything's looking great. Oh, wait a minute. You've been in the US for 30 years. You've overstayed your visa for 30 years. They're going to deny. And they're going to say that he needs a waiver for the 10-year bar. Unless his spouse is a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, or unless he has a parent who is here in the U.S., then he does not have a waiver. The child is not a qualifying relative. Sorry, you were going to say something?
Well, just that, and again, this is assuming we're adding a lot of facts. We're adding some facts in here that we're presuming are the
I'm making this up as it goes along.
We don't know for sure. We just want to make sure. We're not saying that that's exactly what happened.
Right.
We're just saying that is the area that makes this question answerable.
Otherwise, and makes it just the way that it's written and the way it's said.
Makes a lot of sense.
Tell me if I'm right, Rosalie. Tell me if I'm right. Or not. But, I love, this is such a great question because it just brings up so many pitfalls. Do you know people actually will go to the interview who have been here out of status, trigger that 10-year bar and not have a qualifying relative and then not be able to come?
Right. And this, you got the answer here, which is not legal advice, but an answer to a hypothetical. But this is exactly the point. You don't consult with an immigration lawyer and you just decide to do it the way you think it should be done. And then you fall into this trap. And all you had to do was contact somebody and have a consultation with a professional immigration attorney and then you know exactly what the situation was.
So here we are on our Facebook Live, and you, whatever I'm saying, whatever John's saying tonight, you shouldn't even take that, right? I mean, you should take the information that we give you and use it to say, I need to go talk to an immigration attorney.
Yeah, if you don't want to make a consultation with us, fair enough, but you should make a consultation, schedule a consultation with, again, someone who is a professional immigration lawyer. Do not, if you're going to a lawyer who does 15 types of law and one of them is immigration listed, that's not your person. You want to go to somebody who does immigration law. That's what their law firm does and nothing else.
Yeah, you should just come to us.
Okay.
Anyway.
Or you can just come to us. That's true. Absolutely. But my point is, again, going back to what I said at the beginning, you're absolutely worth a consultation fee. Not every lawyer charges a consultation fee. If you want to go see somebody who doesn't, I'm sure you can find a lawyer who does not charge a consultation fee. Just, be careful.
Okay.
That's my warning.
Let's continue with the hypothetical, which is not legal advice.
Not legal advice.
And we're inserting a lot of different facts here to make it fun. All right. His son can also petition him if the brother who has lived in the United States for 30 years out of status because the state is B1, B2 visa or his H1B or his whatever. But he entered the United States with inspection, meaning he was inspected at a port of entry and he had a visa and he had, his passport and he answered questions, then he was inspected. He is most likely eligible for something called adjustment of status, and his son will be able to file that petition for him. He would be able to concurrently file his green card application, and he would be getting his green card depending on where he lives, within a year or so. We find it faster for parents, but all interviews are being waived right now, so maybe they're all lumped in with the other ones like marriage-based cases. But so that's my answer in a nutshell. Rosalie, what do you think? Helpful? Listen,
yeah.
If anyone takes anything away from this right now, if you have overstayed, if you have a U.S. citizen child and you are the parent, if you have a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend who is a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, and you're in the United States visiting that person, before you leave the United States, you should speak to us.
Yes.
Do not leave the country without speaking to us. All right. And this brother is absolutely no exception. If he has overstayed and he goes to that interview in the Philippines, he will not be coming back. Yeah.
And just again, to be clear, for those of you who maybe you're not quite as familiar with these terms, Radlin is pointing out that this is an overstay. In other words, assuming that he had a lawful entry with inspection when he first entered, even though it was 30 years ago, then ever since then, he's just been overstaying. Then yes, she's giving.
Oh yeah, Rosalie says yes, he overstayed.
Yeah. So
all right, okay, we shall move on to the next question because I want to say hi to Miss Evelina. Hi.
We just saved you 10 years.
10 years.
What's it worth?
Yeah, the 10-year bar, right?
What's it worth?
Right. What's it worth? Okay, so let's just say at minimum he makes $20,000 a year. What is 20,000 times $200,000?
Okay, we can't do all that fast. But had you not tuned in here, he'd be getting on the plane, and you guys, this is very exciting. He's gonna go get his stuff and be back.
I hope and pray he would have actually talked to an immigration attorney before he left. But some people don't.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just kind of like going through the comments, and Miss Emily says, I overstayed. You're so funny.
And well, we're really harping on this because we were talking at the beginning about how important it is to consult with an immigration lawyer, and then we get this question that just absolutely is spot on to prove exactly what we were warning about at the beginning.
And wow. and the reason why we're spending so much time on this, guys, is because it is so, so, so important. So important. I have so many stories where I just have to just like, oh, I wish they would have known this. I wish they wouldn't have gone. I wish she would have asked whether, like sometimes people just don't ask, like a prime example is a lawful permanent resident mom. She became a lawful permanent resident and she did not know that she could petition for her unmarried sons. They were, 18. She thought they had to be minors. Anyway, it's crazy.
All right, Allie sent us some roses. Thank you for that.
Thank you. All right, let's grab another question on TikTok.
Yeah, we got a question here. I'm 23 years old. I've been in the U.S. for 2 years. Can I marry my U.S. citizen girlfriend, or is it too soon?
What now? Sorry, guys. When it's 8:55, we need to read the question.
I'm 23. And
23, yes.
I've been in the U.S. for 2 years.
Yes.
Can I marry my U.S. citizen girlfriend, or is it too soon?
It's not too soon.
No, it's not too soon.
But
I mean, again, we're missing some facts here.
I'm not sure what. Like, I'm confused about the question a little bit. Is it too soon for you?
I don't think
it's not too soon for me.
Yeah, I think that maybe just speak to something broader. Maybe there's a misconception out there that, like, oh, if I marry her after only 2 years, it'll look like the only reason I was here was to get married to her or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
No, I think 2 years. I mean, if you came in for something else, maybe
you're here on a H-1B visa. Okay, F1. 23.
Yeah, or an F1 or whatever.
And no,
I think if you've been here 2 years and you and your girlfriend
have been together for 2 years,
yeah, even better, and you want to get married, yeah, call us
or have it. Okay, yeah, right. There are a lot of different things we could kind of read into that, but
right, we'll just leave it at that.
But you're right about the issue is that enough time or whatever? There's no time.
Yeah, I mean, we get questions like that from time to time about, oh, well, it looks suspicious.
Oh, wait, did the Columbus, Ohio ask for the processing times for NATs?
Oh, yep. Well, it just says Columbus, Ohio. I didn't know what that was about.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they asked the question. Anyway, Columbus, Ohio for N400 is taking 16 months.
Right.
John went to school in Columbus.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
one guy,
if you're in Columbus, that's a city that's near and dear to my heart. I went to Ohio State alum. I'm a Buckeye through and through.
We watched that game.
That's right. It's a very nice city. I love Columbus.
It is a nice city. I love Columbus as well.
Food market. If you've never been to Columbus, Ohio, any of you should check it out sometime. It's a cool place. All right.
All right. Fantastic. Let's see. Do we have another question? Wait. Okay.
Okay, here's a question here. Can you travel outside? It says court, but I'm wondering if maybe they're thinking of something else. It says, can you travel outside the court with an expired conditional resident card? And I'm assuming they meant country.
Can you travel outside the country with an expired conditional resident card? Yes, you can, so long as you have a receipt, an I-751 receipt.
Yeah, you can definitely travel outside the court, but I think that's a typo.
Yeah, you have to have that I-751 receipt, which is extending your LPR for 2 years.
Somebody.
That's funny. Okay, Flying 69 wants to know if I know Margaret Wong. Margaret Wong is an attorney. I don't remember in the Midwest, maybe?
I think she's based out of Cleveland.
Based out of Cleveland. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Cleveland,
Do
Ohio.
not know Margaret Wong personally, but I will say that when we first opened up our law firm, I was all over her website. It was good.
Yeah.
In 2000, and the website was really good. Do you remember Margaret Wong? I was like, oh my gosh, look at this lawyer. She has so much information.
Yeah, I think that's why it's stuck with. I don't quote me on that 100%, but I think she's in Cleveland.
Yep.
And since I'm originally an Ohio guy, when people say things like Columbus or Cleveland, I'm like, did you just say Cleveland? Did you say Columbus? All right.
Ooh, okay. So I'm going to let's see. This is terrible. What happened to Miss Evelina's cousin? Cousin's visa was approved 3 times to come to America on a scholarship. He's been going to school here, plays baseball in the midst of COVID, and he got stuck home in Panama. I remember you talking about him while on vacation, but was approved to continue his scholarship here. But the embassy declined his visa for some reason. How else can he make it back to finish his classes? Makes no sense. Has been approved all other times, and he only has a few classes to finish his degree. That is heartbreaking.
It is indeed.
Guys, this is an example of how the embassy can giveth and taketh, right? For no reason at all. So my recommendation, Evelyn, and it may or may not help, is to get some congressional liaison assistance here and see if they can do anything. I don't know. It was declined. Maybe they thought that he was, I have no idea. There could be a bunch of other different reasons, but try congressional liaison assistance. If you don't know how to do that, you can reach out to Jackie, or you can go to Live Love Immigration page and Facebook page, and it will be there. Our timekeeper is coming up.
Real quick.
Hi, Ray.
COVID 1986 wants to know what state we're in. I said at the beginning, we are physically located in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So our state is Virginia on the East Coast of the United States. But again, we represent clients all over the United States and all over the world. We do all of our work virtually. So whatever state you're in, we can help you out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And Miss Evelina, let me just go ahead and put this. She has always the nicest things to say about us. Just come to them, best of the best. They were worth the investment.
Oh,
all right.
Thank you for that. That's
Thank
awesome.
You.
Appreciate
Yes.
that.
We had a good time. The I-130. It depends, Mungai, who you're filing the I-130 for with regard to the processing times. All right. Okay, Ray, come over here. Your grandmother wants to see you.
Granny wanted to know. She asked at the beginning if you were coming in. Here you are. We're in the University of Vermont Catamount shirt.
Is it time, Ray? Is it 9?
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's been very fun.
Thanks everyone for joining us
questions.
tonight. We will be here next Wednesday, same time, 8 o'clock. Bring your questions. We've got answers. 2 thumbs up, everyone.
2 thumbs up. Bye, guys. See you next time.
Have a great night. Bye, Mama. If you're still here.
Bye, Granny.
Oh, it's Sue. Hi, Sue.
Oh, hi, Sue.
2 thumbs up.
All right.